What's going on, guys? This is Bobby Douglas. Welcome to the second 2021 NBA Draft full game breakdown. Today we're going to be taking a look at Kentucky big man Isaiah Jackson in his game against South Carolina from March 6th. In this game, he had 13 points, 10 boards, and a block with 2 steals on 5 of 8 shooting and only 26 minutes, too, so it should be a quicker video today. Listen, 6'10", 206 pounds, 8.5 points a game, 6.5 rebounds. Didn't get a whole lot of minutes, especially early in the season, but as the season went on, he became a much more important contributor to this Kentucky team, which obviously underachieved for its expectation. But regardless, this should be a good game to watch about Isaiah Jackson, and let's get right into it with the first half video breakdown. So Jackson's going to be number 23 in the white. He'll be taking a tip-off right here, and we will watch him play. Somehow doesn't win the tip-off right there, but again, this guy's a very explosive leaper. Really good instincts defensively, especially in tight spaces. And he's very athletic for his position as well. Right there, just a little bit late on the rotation to get back. It was a late switch by Kentucky. And again, Jackson's really good at using his length to his advantage. He'll get a lot of deflections, a lot of blocks. And right there, the pass was just over the outstretched arms of Jackson. And it was a layup for South Carolina. Right now, you can see him kind of working block to block. He's not really an outside threat. He's more of a low post type of player. Definitely should probably put on a little bit more weight, I would say, just to get stronger if he's not going to develop that outside shot. He can hit a few mid-range jump shots here and there, but it looks pretty clunky, so I wouldn't really bet on that long term. And big guys are always so difficult to evaluate compared to guards because guards are a lot more of a known commodity. They'll have the ball in their hands a lot more. And with big men, you're kind of looking more for intangibles. You can see right there, good hustle by Jackson. Right place, right time on the rebound, and then finishes with the nice putback. And Jackson, again, is really good in tight spaces because he's so quick to react. If you put him in space, he might struggle a little bit. We'll see what he does right here. That's a really good contest by Jackson, and not on the ball athletically, but more so off the ball, just kind of following cutters and not getting hit on screens, things like that. He tends to struggle a little bit, but on the ball athletically, he's rather good. And you can see Jackson right there with a nice little turnaround jump shot, and that's the type of play that he would need to make in the NBA to really maximize his potential. Just being in the middle of the defense right there, rise and fire, and he's going to knock down that shot. So really just kind of comes down to just the overall skill development of Jackson and the IQ improving as well. I'd say those are probably the two biggest things he needs to work on. We'll see him right here. Not much going on. I don't know how he didn't get that rebound, but it was a long rebound anyway. Kind of came off fast. And so also Isaiah Jackson kind of got screwed in terms of the roster personnel for Kentucky. They would start Olivier Sarr with him a lot. And so whenever you have two kind of traditional or more traditional big men, I want to see who made that pass right there. So that's Isaiah Jackson on that pass. And again, he does make basic reads out of the post, so we'll see it right here. So again, this is pretty quick. Surveys the floor and notices that B.J. Boston's going to be wide open for the three. Manages to hit him in rhythm, and the shot goes down for Jackson. But again, just kind of like having that two big man lineup, it doesn't really lend itself to a lot of just exposure of what Jackson can do. And so you got to kind of take that into account when he's playing with number 30, Olivier Sarr. We got a travel right here, so we will skip ahead. And so you can see kind of like it's kind of a little bit of a high-low action with Sarr and Jackson. Jackson's now on the block, and Kentucky's coming out firing in this game. B.J. Boston, that's his second three, I believe. Right there, no one really gets back. Jackson was kind of all the way down, so it's not really on him. So South Carolina's in a 2-3 right now, and so they're trying to get that high-low, and right there they were trying to look for Jackson on the block, but the pass was not able to get through. But that's kind of like a classic zone buster. Get the ball into the... So Jackson here, let's see what he does. Another really nice pass from Jackson. Yeah, just really smart IQ play right there. We will rewind it and see this again. So he's going to get the ball straight out of the inbound, and immediately one dribble knows that this guy is going to stop his drive, and he somehow draws in this defender. I'm not really sure why he would leave Jacob Toppin. And this guy is just totally lost. Jackson does a nice job hitting top and right here for the open three. Top and good job relocating as well. The shot just didn't go down. But Jackson does have some of that instinctual playmaking. I'm not really sure he would be great right now in the short roll. I think he turns it over a little bit too much as he kind of just gets lost and turned around on that defensive possession. So right here, nobody really takes the roller. And, yeah, there's just a whole lot of miscommunication. Top end should have come over. Jackson and Dawson could have communicated better. And so it's hard to really blame all of these miscommunications and struggles on Jackson just because this Kentucky team was such a nightmare. But just like overall better communication, better just awareness off the ball defensively should make him go a longer way in the NBA. Let's see what he does here. Good rip through. Again, another really nice job just kind of recognizing where the pressure is coming from and redistributing the ball back to an open player. And right there, that's a really quality tip out by Jackson. He can't get the ball, but he makes the rebound difficult. And so, again, you're just kind of banking on the hustle and just like the length and athleticism of Jackson, kind of just propelling him into that energy big role at minimum. So, again, right there, the shot goes in. Jackson maybe could have contested harder, but you can just see, like, at the summit, Jackson and the shooter's arms are basically touching. So he has that, like, kind of game-breaking length to really kind of cover up some of his defensive mistakes. And so that will be helpful in the long term for him as well. We've got a media timeout here, and we will skip ahead. So again, here's Jackson just kind of monitoring his guy. Good job fighting over that screen. And he gets that rebound. And again, the first rebound he got was kind of an anomaly, but he's really good in tight spaces. He reacts really quickly. And that's something that's really going to help him just kind of be one step ahead of his opponents. And Kentucky's still trying to go high-low. They got Jackson flashing at the free throw line. Now what's going on here? And again, just kind of the spacing's just such a wreck with both of these guys on the floor. So it's kind of not really conducive to NBA level offense. So that's kind of a negative for Jackson just in terms of schematic fit. Not really anything he can control. Nice job there, just kind of contesting that pass/shot. Jackson, again, that game-breaking length, just put his arms up, and he can immediately just impact a whole lot of stuff. Let's see what happens here on this inbound. So Jackson... So again, right here, so Jackson gets totally mauled on the screen. This is what I'm talking about. Like, he should be able to see this coming. A teammate at least should be calling out that screen. And you can see it just if I pause it right here. This is a wide open layup. I don't know how this doesn't go in. Oh, it's like a loose ball. So, but just things like that, Jackson definitely needs to work on. Just being able to, keep his head on a swivel. Be a little bit more in tune off the ball defensively. But on the ball and within 3 feet of the basket, he's phenomenal. And so that's what you're kind of banking on, especially early from him at the NBA level. See what he does here. So Jackson's off the ball. Not much going on there. Right there, he's running the floor really well. Good job, kind of just... That's a very nice possession from Jackson. Didn't do much, but he ran the floor extremely well, and then he was actually in position to get that offensive rebound, had that three not gone in. So again, he's really good at just using his arms to just kind of carve out space. And right there, let's see what happens here. This is going to be a off-ball screening action, and it's a backdoor cut. That's not on Jackson. Yeah. And Jackson's out right here, so I will skip ahead to 12-14 when he comes back in. Again, he only played 26 minutes, which is actually substantially higher than his season average. He only averaged around 21 minutes a game. So that's just something to keep in mind. He didn't really get a whole lot of playing time compared to some of these other prospects. But I would argue he was probably one of Kentucky's most important players just because of his hustle and just, the lack of hustle that Kentucky as a team had. Jackson was kind of just served as this like offensive or this defensive spark plug for Kentucky this year. So right there, he kind of... So again, like all of his passes are very kind of taught in a way, right? So it's very simple, like, oh, he notices where the pressure's coming from and he hits that person. But they're all rather like one-read passes. And so that's an example of where that could backfire right here. And that's why I think his passing skill needs to develop a little bit more. So he's going to get the ball right here. And he immediately knows where he's going with the ball. So even before, as he hits the ground, he's trying to force it into, I believe that's Jacob Toppin right there. And so that's just going to be a turnover every time. The defense is going to read this. So yeah, that's just kind of one of those things where you got to kind of just know when to hold them, know when to fold them. And so Jackson just needs to do a little bit better of a job just kind of recognizing certain actions that the defense is going to do. He's prone to being baited a lot into certain passes like we saw there. So again, Jackson running the floor, and Kentucky's just bombing away from 3 this game. See what Jackson does here. So again, just kind of controlling the lane area. Now he's off the ball. So they have him on a smaller and quicker guy right now, and so he's kind of having to chase this guy around. Let's see how he does in the drop coverage. Good job right there. That's got to be a help by the weak side, and then Jackson, really nice job recovering. That's just another tough shot. We will rewind that here. So again, this is like the right play. Even though this is Jackson's man, Jackson has to help on the drive because Askew is slow getting around the screen. That leads to the pick and pop action right here. And so these 2 defenders, it looks like number 55 has to leave this guy in the post to contest this shot. Jackson does the smart thing and immediately recovers to the big guy down here. And again, like it's almost like he's not even a second away. It's just like I feel like he's getting his fingertips on every single one of these shot contests. He's gotten rather unlucky on the types of shots that have gone in over him, but I think overall he's done a really nice job contesting. Good activity there on the offensive glass. Couldn't snag the rebound. It was basically like a 3-on-1, so not really much he can do there. Here's BJ Boston. Video will be up on him in the near future as we evaluate this class. Yeah, that's I don't agree with that one right there. I think he's probably a 2nd-round pick on my board, but that's just me. Obviously, Mike Schmitz knows a little bit more about this stuff than I do. Jackson is going to be guarding the big guy right here, and again, it's another off-ball screen, just staying with his man. And so again, right there, just kind of another one of those things where Jackson's kind of getting like in that weird spot where he's the one contesting, but he's kind of covering up for his teammates' mistakes, and then those shots go in, and then Jackson maybe looks like he's at fault, but he's actually kind of the one that's just keeping Kentucky bearable on that end right now. And again, right there, another one of those kick-out passes out of the post. So Jackson's pretty comfortable doing that. It's just when he kind of has to make quick decisions offensively is where he will struggle. Good job. That wasn't Jackson's dunk, but he did a nice job kind of sealing off his man, and it kind of freed up the lane for, I think that was Toppin, to get the putback jam. So again, Jackson's activity, while it's not really like monitored in terms of statistics or on-ball stuff, it certainly makes a huge difference for a team. We got a foul right here. And so you can see, I think that was a replay of it, but Jackson was the guy kind of boxing his man out on the offensive glass. So getting the post, again, the high post action. And again, you can see this time he actually did a nice job. So this is the exact same situation where he turned the ball over earlier. So he will flash to the free throw line. He's going to get the ball right here, and it's the same thing. He's looking for that catch in the air and an immediate turn to pass it to the guy in the low block. But Jackson does recognize here that that's not going to be open. So again, maybe he's a quick learner. It's a very nice job, and right there, a really nice finish there. And that's what I mean, he's good in quick spaces. Look at where he gets this ball in relation to the spacing on the floor. This is basically a handoff in the middle of the lane, in the middle of a congested lane, right? And Jackson's length and fluidity just allows him to glide and finish over defenders, and so that's why he's going to be so effective around the rim early, especially if he adds more strength. He'll be really difficult to deal with just because I think he reacts faster than most players down there. Good job closing out by Jackson. Again, not the quickest guy out in space, but good job just using his length to contest. And again, because of that length, he can use that to kind of counteract any foot speed differences that may arise. Got a little drag screen right there. And again, the same thing. South Carolina's kind of in this weird matchup zone. And Isaiah Jackson's at the top of at the free throw line. So again, right there, a little bit late to notice that backdoor cut. And so if you put, my whole theory with Isaiah Jackson is basically that if you put him in space, he's going to struggle. But if you keep him like kind of just, getting loose balls, going after the rebounds, things like that, I think he could be pretty effective for your team. And that's a bad turnover by Davion Mintz right there, and it's going to be a miss. Jackson's last guy back, but he was already down there, and we got a foul. Again, this is another example. I mean, I'm sorry to give you this 2 days in a row, but the SEC Wasteland games, just such a nightmare. This is certainly one of those that qualifies for that. And so right now, Isaiah Jackson doesn't have any blocks, but I hope you guys have realized that, like, this guy contesting shots, he's really good. And so I think he's gotten a few near blocks. And so that type of instinct is definitely going to be a welcome attribute in the NBA. Right there. Again, not really like the quickest passer, or not really the most technically sound. But at least he recognized that kick-out pass right there, even though it was rather off the mark. So Jackson one pass away right here. Again, really good. This is another example of that. So right here, it looks kind of like a scramble play. And then just watch how Jackson's length just totally is able to intercept this pass right here. So it's kind of a bad miscommunication on the screen. It should have been Jackson probably staying here, or BJ Boston just doing better. But Jackson's going to recover right here. And look at this window right here. This is usually like a successful pass. But Jackson's length allows him to get his hands on this rather easily. So he just managed to poke that away and get the steal for his team. And we're back to Jackson in that high-low action with Sarr. And again, that's why I'm not really a huge fan of his fit. That wasn't a bad turnaround jump shot right there. And again, that's probably his most projectable range out. I think he maybe took 1-3 on the entire season. Good job recognizing the back door and switch. That was a flex cut right there. And again, really nice, really good contest there from Jackson. Again, using that length doesn't really allow open shots to go by him. Yeah, another BJ Boston 3. He's been cooking today. And right there, so this is the example where if you're putting him in space, it's kind of an issue. He gets totally burnt on this. I don't even know where he's looking. He's looking at this guy and just, whoop. How does that happen? He literally was like an inch away from you. Those are the types of plays where you're just kind of like shaking your head because that's kind of inexcusable. And so that's just kind of an issue right there. And so that's going to lead to the and one. Just that can't happen in the NBA. And so he has a lot of those plays where he's just kind of like, And so those will be an issue. But again, for the most part, if you put him around the block, he'll be pretty solid. The high-low, Jackson's going to float to the short corner. And Sarr, I don't even know what happened there. So again, Jackson's one pass away. That was pretty good defense, just kind of just staying in his spot, not really doing much. But again, like he's just kind of bouncy off his feet, but he just sometimes just falls asleep where you're just kind of like, ugh. And the times he falls asleep, it's pretty ugly. So again, Kentucky or South Carolina's in this zone. You can see that they're having one of Jackson or Sarr flash to the high post. Yep, another really nice pass from Jackson right there. And again, when he gets to make they're just simple, just kind of like within the offense type of reads, Jackson's really good. It's just when he has to kind of create and decide on his own, that's when he tends to struggle and get a little bit frozen. But right here, he recognizes like what they're doing offensively, and so he knows that Toppin's going to be open for the three. I think there was this play similar like this earlier in this half So that's just another solid play by Jackson. And again, right there, oh, we got to make that layup. Oh, geez, I think Jackson finished that. But again, just kind of like just being right there. So again, he just gets the ball right to him. He's always kind of in the right spot offensively, trying to get loose balls. And so he just kind of gets it to him, and that should be a finish, but he doesn't. I think he gets a putback here with the and one. So we will watch him shoot free throws, where he was let's see, that was Jackson. And then he is a 70% free throw shooter. Oh, that was Sarr. They gave it to Sarr. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'm not really sure about that one. Oh, it was okay. They got him on. They got it on the first putback right there, not the second. So the Jackson basket was waved off. And that's not really much on him. Good job getting position underneath by Jackson. The shot that did go in, but just his activity kind of like makes the defense worry about something else other than the ball. So that's good right there. Here he is out in space. Let's see what he does here. Not much. And again, that was kind of a they exploited the drop coverage a little bit, but that's probably just a scheme, and so that's not really a negative towards Jackson in my view. And again, there he is, flats into the high post. I wish Sarr would get him the ball. It's just this Kentucky team was just so bad this year. That's going to be a charge. That's just such a bad possession. And I think he is, let's see, yeah, he's out here for a few minutes, so I will skip ahead. 20 comes back in at 29:41. And so I guess there's another charge, and here's Jackson. And here he's in for the last minute and a half of this first half. So then here he is in drop. Again, really nice shot. And right here, another example, I'm telling you, just the length. This was like, he didn't time his jump well at all here. I mean, nobody really can in this situation. It's a deflected ball, so things are going to be kind of crazy. But Jackson's just able to just go up there and just bring it down. So again, he's kind of flat-footed. He's on his heels, and he still manages to snag that ball. And so that's kind of just like the game-breaking length is kind of just like my main takeaway with Jackson. If you're looking for, there's another really effective offensive rebound, he's going to get fouled there. And so we will watch him shoot these free throws. And again, 70% free throw shooter. He's going to knock that one down. And again, he has a pretty high release point on his jumper. So, ooh, that might not have been a foul either. But here's the Jackson second free throw. Pretty high release, though. It looks pretty mechanically sound. I think, when he's kind of like in live game, it might look a little bit shakier. But, at the free throw line, it looks okay to me. Jackson, good stunt and recover. Or we got a foul here. They must be talking about Jackson because he's got 8 points and 5 boards. Oh, yes, we love that play, don't we? The dribble handoff into a pin down for a mid-range corner jump shot. That's what every NBA team is just dying to run. Ugh. Sometimes college basketball just... You watch... With me, it's... Oh, we got an injury here, so I'll skip ahead. You watch college basketball, then you watch the NBA playoffs, and you go back to watching college basketball, and you just your eyes are open as to how much inferior of a product college basketball is compared to the NBA. The NBA guys are so much better. So it's just, I understand that probably goes without saying. Another really nice shot. Whew! All right, we get our first block from Jackson. So this is kind of twofold right here. So Jackson's going to contest and just kind of alter this entire drive, right? So again, like he's just using his length right here, and then he's just going to squat the shit the South Carolina attempt too, just bam. And so again, just kind of the activity around the basket, Jackson's going to be really, really effective. So that's a really nice play to end the first half video. 7, another really good contest. It's going to be a shot clock violation. 7, 6, 5. Oh, my Kentucky. Really? Come on. All right, nothing's going to happen in this last 3, 2, 1, 0, and that'll end the first half video. But to finish up what I was saying, you just kind of watch college basketball, and then you watch the NBA playoffs, and you're just like, oh my God, the NBA is so much better. It goes without saying, but it's just very clear in games where there are 2 sub-500 SEC teams playing, so just keep that in mind. Thank you guys so much for watching the first half of the Isaiah Jackson video. The second half will be uploaded later today. And yeah, we will see you soon for that video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, stay well. Bye.